Welcome, beloved hearts, into the loving embrace of the divine. I would like to invite you to bring your awareness to your heart, where we can truly connect as one. I am Katrina Armstrong, and I stand before you today as a testament to the power of the divine. I embarked on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth, all of which has birthed the alchemical movement that is Divinity in Action, that I am ecstatic to share with you here. Allow us to guide you through the wisdom of our esteemed leaders and uncover the secrets of the universe to unlock your true potential, as I had done in my life when I embraced the Christ consciousness and ascended into higher expressions of my soul potential. I'll share with you the teachings and wisdom that have helped me to transcend from my earthly bounds and realize the true expression of my soul. I'll be joined by some of the most compassionate and authentic spiritual leaders worldwide who also experience divinity in action. Allow us to share our insights and experiences. I invite you to join me on this journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth. Together we'll break free from past programming and conditioning and fully embrace our true selves. Join me in welcoming Susann Shier, creator of Soul Mastery. Susann is an international acclaimed author, spiritual counselor, intuitive healer, and medium. She is the founder of Soul Mastery. Susann reads the Akashic Records and teaches how to access and live from the magnificence of your soul gifts, strengths, and purposes in this world. She has a rare gift of catalyzing the luminous bridge between your soul and your reunion with a life of joy in an easy, practical way. Her natural ability to inspire and uplift all she touches activates each one's magnificence and unique mastery for infinite possibilities in life to emerge. Susann has inspired and helped tens of thousands for over 30 years, combining her exquisite connection to the divine with her training as a psychotherapist, inspiring the revelation of each person's inherent spiritual wealth to flourish and thrive. Susann's heart wisdom will open you to live authentically, create a life you love, and help you access your soul power, passion, and purpose. Her 4 books, Soul Mastery, Accessing the Gifts of Your Soul, Soul Radiance, Bring Your Soul Riches to Life, and Soul Reunion, The Return Home from Separation, and A Soul's Journey to Sacred Love, serve as the foundation for her unique, profound work. Wow, what a beautiful opportunity to be here with you, Susann. I am really looking forward to all that comes through when we look at this accessing our soul gifts and this movement forward into this year. I know that it feels way different than any year before it. And being a highly sensitive being that can really feel all the shifts and the changes, I know that this can easily pull me back into myself. And those that are here listening for Divinity in Action, as I tune into that, I can feel the empathic field of each one of us. So I am so excited to hear what is coming through you for this year.
I would say it's a year of cooking on all burners and then in the stove, in the oven itself, which is fabulous when we're ready for it. And if we're not, it feels like it's overwhelming for people. So I feel like there's a lot of magic. The feeling is a magician. There's some magician energy. There's a feeling of the best way to walk the path that this new year is opening, which is just tingling all over all the time, it seems like, is to consider, and I like to give little sound bites that people can remember. So you've got the magician element, you've got the innovation, creativity. So when things don't feel like they're like, what? This is supposed to be this grand year of fulfilling your dreams, which I do believe it is. When you don't feel like you're in that place at all, which happens to all of us, just go, okay, let's get creative. Let's get innovative and let's get some magic going. Yeah, because, it's one thing to say this is going to be a year of such and such. Another thing to go, well, how do I get there? How do I take advantage of those amazing energies that are so magical? And the other is, a huge increase in our sensitivity and our intuition and our wisdom and really being guided by the soul. I love, this feeling that some would say it's a deeper year. We're going to a deeper place. And to me, that is just about going more into soul and purpose versus being bounced around by our emotions, which have happened a lot because a lot of emotions have had to surface. So we start going, oh, we can't just push those aside now, can we? No, we need to get in touch with those beautiful parts of ourselves. And those parts of ourselves that feel emotionally, that's their greatest piece is that they feel like emotions. They're parts of us that are wanting to get reconnected because the only wound is the wound of separation. So parts of us are coming up, just like in the collective, there's huge transformation. Old patterns are coming up to be transformed. And we go, yeah, I see that. What about our emotional realms? They're coming up to be transformed. But instead of trying to get rid of them and clear them and all of that kind of thing and find solutions, what about seeing them as parts that want to get reconnected to the beautiful guidance of your soul? So I feel it's a real year for finding what we call soul, more of a soulful, purposeful nature of things versus just, I want to get hold of my soul purpose. It's like, no, what is soulful in this moment for me? And that magic and creativity, those elements are very, very important, it feels like. Yeah.
Wow. Being highly sensitive, when you speak innovative and you speak creativity, it just gives me this like, where do I get it? Where do I do that? With so much happening in the world and things changing and, we can feel the suffering and the change and the things that are coming forward as we're as we're evolving. So I'm curious when we look at how do we do that? How do we access that creativity?
Yeah. So a couple of ways. One is to know that it's a creator universe we live in. Creation is the blueprint. Tap into that feeling, which most people on this call are going to have a sense of. You're not beginners. The infinite field of possibilities. We call it quantum. We call it abundance. We call it all sorts of names. But when you say infinite field of possibilities, we're like, yeah, my soul knows that. My soul feels like I could create, manifest anything, but it feels like it's so limiting to try to do that here. Yeah. So it's important to connect to that universe of infinite possibilities and feel that expanded nature. Let yourself go into that little bit of la land for a minute. And here's the key. Feel that sense of, yeah, anything's possible. Yeah, when I'm up in the clouds, I just feel free and float and expanded. What are we going to do with that? You're going to bring that in. That's the key. The wound of separation is that it lives out there, but we don't have it here, which goes back to our first incarnation. We won't go there right now. That's what I do with people. So bring it into your heart. Feel that sensation of float, the freedom, the anything, it feels like it's spacey, but if you bring that energy into your heart space, your heart starts to come alive, right? You just breathe it down that it can be here. This is like a real grounding too. Then bring that infinite, go out to that infinite again and go, yeah, but I feel so free out there. And I don't feel free here, so to speak. Go out into that freedom land that feels very natural to you. Now, as you breathe it into your heart, I know you didn't expect this right away. Breathe this into your heart. Breathe it down into your abdomen, your womb space for creation, the lower heart. And just breathe for a moment that sense of, yes, I love being free. I love feeling the infinite. It's right here with me. Yeah. And then there's more of a presence of anything I'm creating. and the magic is here. And then you get your little magic wand out and go, oh, what do I want to create now? What do I
Oh,
want to create from magic now?
it's so beautiful when we know, as you were saying, we know that there's this field of infinite possibilities and we find ourselves, in the experience of life, right? Kind of losing that connection. So I love that you brought us to that opportunity to breathe it in, allow it to be in the body. And what I find sometimes when we do this, and a lot of times we want to be there, right? We want to be in that expanded state.
Sure.
The difficulty is, being able to sustain that and being able to create from that. So to bring that into the body, what I find is that when we do that, a lot of times emotions will come, things will arise for us. How do we bridge that? How do we do that?
Yeah, exactly. So I did give a little clue of that before. So here we go. Remember that when the emotions are coming up, it's not the bad juju, that's not the bad stuff that we want to get rid of. You're keeping me from freedom. It's old parts of us that we tucked away because we didn't want the gold of our soul to be harmed. Think of other lifetimes where we got, sliced and burned in a nanosecond for just breathing, basically, right? Just for being who we are. So we tucked a lot of that away. And when we bring that infinite nature, let's call it love too, the infinite nature of love, because many of you here are all about love, but it's like, but I don't get to experience that on the planet. What's up with that? So you start to bring it in and your heart starts to crack open a little bit, but then you feel the constriction. You go, oh no, it hurts. Or, oh my God, I'm going to cry. Parts of you going, yes, I want that. I want that. I want that. So imagine it's like a baby bird going, mom goes out to get what it needs, love or creation comes in and the baby birds are like, feed me, feed me, feed me. Those are the emotion going, or the physical realm will start to hurt a little bit. The constriction in the heart, the stomach ache, whatever it is, the pain will come up, feed me, feed me, feed me. So you bring that right where the emotion is in your body.
Wow.
And so here you go. Here's the love. Here's the creation. Here's the magic. And it will guaranteed calm down and go, oh, thank you for giving me food I can trust in. Universal food you can trust in. Human food, even, your adult self. We don't trust our adult selves. Let's be honest. Our adult self, they're learning a lot. So to give these smaller parts our adult self is a start. It's a start. But we want to give it the qualities of spirit that it's really looking for. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
As you're saying that, and just taking a moment, letting everyone really feel into this.
Mm-hmm.
What would it be like to bring that love, that connection to the infinite possibilities into the body when things are arising, to bring it right to it?
Yes.
Why? Why is it that we're so afraid of that? To feel. I find this so often. It's like, we want to go do something else, or not working, or right at the moment where it's just about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we really become these brave hearts that are looking for this infinite possibilities to birth through us? Is what I'm hearing from you. Is that's the opportunity we have?
Because underneath stuck emotion, that physical, I just, at the year to move forward, people will be like, no, please, no. I don't know what I'm doing in my life and I'm supposed to take action and I don't, and it comes up, right? So what you want to remember is it's coming up to free the gold beneath it. And that's your soulfulness. It's coming up so you can move it out. You're flushing in the new, you're bringing in the new and the old will flush. It shows up and then it flushes out as we go, okay, I'm doing this so the gold can come forward. Gold, the dead parts can go and the new parts can come in. And then we have our eye on the ball, so to speak. I want my gold. I want my abundance. I want my love. I want all of that. Yes. Yeah.
I love what you said earlier about, moving away from this idea of I need to find my soul purpose, which feels like it has us like searching for something, to being soulful, to allowing for this to come in and really being with, wow, where is this? What is this opening up? and being in more exploration, which brings me to this place of feeling like we're really working with our inner child. We're really working with a part of us that is curious, that, in my experience, the child does an incredible job of leading the adult, helping it kind of move through life. And so that you said that, it was just such a beautiful feeling to move away from this, like, what is this purpose? Because a lot of people are searching for that.
Of course, understandable. We want to have purpose in our life. What's the point if we don't feel purposeful? But purposeful is what you're looking for, to feel purposeful. So you can be purposeful when you're doing the dishes even, right? Because it's got to be 24/7. But going back to the inner child, I want to say something about that, which is coming up, which is very cool, which is your inner child is not your immature part. It's your soulful innocence.
Yeah.
Right? It may be trapped in this feeling of nobody ever loved me or whatever it is, but underneath is soulful, magical innocence. That feeling of light is all there is. There is nothing but light. Imagine that the child comes in with that feeling of it's all light, it's all good, it's all great, until they bump up against the boulder in the stream that goes, that's not true. And it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I better hide my light because they say that's not valuable. So we're bringing our light back on, our innocence of light back on board, which is what's so great. Yeah.
Yes, I see innocence as power. I see it as our true power. And that's what allows us to come into, we talk about being authentic, right? Being able to come into this truth of who we are. I call it the soul's truth. So I'm curious, as we're navigating this, or I should say, as you were speaking, I was just watching how the mind kind of does this like back and forth thing. Like, oh, but how do we survive here? Or how do we create here if we allow that part of us, to have full reign or to be seeing everything as light? And I'm just curious in your experience, that bridging between the two. Is there any guidance out there?
Great. So the mind will come in to protect it, which is that seems to be its old job. A lot of it, I know we say, well, the mind, what we think, we believe and all of that, but it's like, let's go back to being more in the heart. When the mind comes up to protect us, then it's trying to keep us small and secure and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. But when we're in that feeling of innocence, of light, and I can't wait to see what I'm going to create, there is a power to that. You're in your own world and everything feels creative and light and magical, actually. When we think about the idea of, oh my gosh, if I go to innocence, then I'm going to be bombarded or etc., we're not in the experience. So when we get into the experience of the innocence, we feel the power of that, the freedom of that, the magic and the abundance of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So neat. I get this image and, I move a lot from there. So just how it begins to rewrite your world. It begins to up. And I'm feeling that in your words and this bridging and this kind of releasing of like, oh, well, the mind's telling me this, but I feel something different. I feel like there's something else here. There's something else that's speaking to me. And that's those that are here within Divinity in Action that are joining us. That's the call that so strongly. It's ready to break through. It's ready to be given a voice, to be given an opportunity to create here, to open up. And sometimes I feel like we're looking for this, like, almost like, is it okay?
Well, we want to belong, for sure. We want to belong. We want to feel part of something because as a soul, we're part of the oneness of all that is. And we come here and everybody's so individuated. It's like, well, where do I fit? But so we want to feel that again in the ways that come up in the mind. But just to go back to what you were saying, which I just lost, that's so funny. We create our reality, right? The world is a reflection of us. When we're in that place of innocence, it's an energy that radiates out around us. We don't need protection. We just need the strength of radiance. And when we talk about divinity in action, this is the first action. This is the first action, is to be those qualities of spirit which make up divinity. So there you are in your magic, your creative mode, your innocence, that's divinity in action, owning that, being brave, being bold, which is, again, a theme for this year. So instead of going, well, what am I going to do out there? It's like, okay, how am I going to be creative? Not just be, but be creative. And this is what gets me going. And when you're in that place, you see the world as a reflection, and you're not going, wait, but I got to be hyper vigilant about the stuff that isn't light. It's like, no, my field is light, and that's what I attract. Yeah.
Yes.
And it works. It does work.
Oh, wow. When you said that about, being concerned about what isn't light, it feels like it pulls you right out of it. When you said that, I just felt this just complete drain, and then there goes the creativity. And like you're saying, this is the year. This is the year to come into that, to step forward, to move forward.
Yes.
In our soulfulness.
Yes. Yes. Out of survival into creation. So if that's all you do for a year is keep saying, gosh, what do I want to create? Not the big stuff yet necessarily. I want that wellness center to actually land this year. Okay, great. Stay in creation mode and keep creating wherever you are to generate the energy. And you're saying to the universe, more creation. I'm ready to create more and bigger and brighter and all of that. And that then the physical dream can land, so to speak. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you said that, I just pictured this beautiful, opening up and full creativity and getting to feel it showing up in our lives.
Yes.
I think that's one of the more difficult parts for those that are highly sensitive, because we can feel the beauty of it all, but it's not always showing itself to us. We look outward, right? When we look at the world, when we look at the things that are happening, the level of suffering that's happening, and which we were just saying can easily pull us out of ourselves. How do we sustain that? How do we maintain that momentum?
Yeah. So one of the main things to understand for highly sensitive soul, empath, etc., is that what we have done, which was an oops, because it feels sometimes like it's a curse more than it's a gift. And it's because we've gone to the sort of lower end of it here, like with everything that's human. So our sensitive nature, which you're describing and you live in, is that sense of antenna to our perception, to listening and perceiving what spirit is bringing forward. That's what our highly sensitive nature is for, period. Okay, that's the soulful nature of it. Now, again, because of everything in this world that is at a lower frequency, because, we'll just call it the fall, just to say that, we've moved away from that. We have started going, well, I have to bring this world back into alignment with what I know is true, which is that connection. So there's an unconscious searching on the horizontal level. Where are things not right? Where are they not light? So I can bring them back to light. And it's like, no. Get your antenna going back up and don't worry about what's going on in the world. That whole phrase, you do you, it applies. Sovereignty. You be sovereign. Keep that connection alive. Keep bringing that divinity of light action in your body and listen to that and let the world do what it's going to do, because you're not responsible for the world. And have you noticed that often our highly overly sensitive nature picks up the fear, the anger, the negative stuff, not the joy. We're not sitting in joy all the time because we're highly sensitive. When I talk to people who are highly sensitive and empathic and taking on stuff, it's the negative. So it's like years ago, I was like, wait, my guy's got to help me with it. It just doesn't feel right. That's not what it's for. So if you pull back and go, I'm not responsible to shift them to light. I'm only responsible for my antenna to be tuned in as beautifully as it already is. And then wait, my hypervigilance comes up and goes, wait a minute. But I have to make sure that doesn't harm me or harm the world. It's like, we can't control all of that. We can't. So just take care of your lane, right? Be in your lane and honor everyone else in their lane. Don't you want to be honored and seen for who you are? You want everyone else to be honored too. So let them stay in their lane. They'll find their way or not. Yeah.
Hearing this very strong, and I can say in my experience, and I wouldn't say that this is always the easiest thing, right, to do. I would say it's simple.
Yeah.
Not necessarily easy, is this feeling of, wow, how powerfully and beautifully it works when we are creating from the inside out. And my experience is, and you can let me know if this is true for you, those of us that are highly sensitive, we've had to adapt to, realities that are not similar. And you were speaking a little bit about this earlier about belonging. And, there's nothing more difficult than feeling alone, feeling alone, being highly sensitive. Mm-hmm. So I find this and I know in my own life and how many things I've had to rework because I've developed ways to engage with reality. But I'm hearing this year, it's really calling us even deeper into that creativity to move it forward. Mm-hmm. With that said, the power of when we're creating from there, how we create a new stance, we create a new alignment and way for others to come in and know, oh, wow, it was right there all the time, right?
Yeah, that's the beauty of working the way you're describing it, from the inside out. Because it's a free choice universe and world, the more there are people that are aligning with the choice for light, which all of us that are listening today are aligning with that. You could say, oh, well, I'm not very good at it. I've only been doing it for a while. You're still doing it. You're still doing it. You're still a superhero in this world. As you're doing that, you're creating more of the vibration of choice for light. That's all you have to think about. I'm creating more of the choice for light. So when people are going, should I go to light or should I be distracted by this that looks all bright and shiny but false? This has more solid substance of, oh, that's something, I want what she's got kind of thing. That's the energy, right? So just know that that's important and that's a huge contribution. And when you see stuff that's outside of light, which we do all the time, remember this phrase, that's a fascinating creation.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a fascinating creation. I won't name names because we've got them all over the news. Fascinating creation, right? Yeah, because it is. They're a fascinating creation. But it keeps you in creation mode versus, oh my God, that idiot. Which we do.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Right?
It's so interesting. I work a lot with neutralization of polarities. And when we work that way, we're actually calling to us, the opposite of what we really want, which challenges us even more. So I love this tool you just gave us with oh, that's an interesting creation. Mm-hmm. Being like, hey, you know what? I see you for what you are, right? Mm-hmm. I see you for what you are.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. I get why you're going to war. I get why you're doing. Okay. I get that. Okay. Then
I my power to it though. Exactly. I'm here to witness it. Wow. That's
Yeah. And that takes heart. We can say, well, I have compassion, that poor guy who all he can do is go to war. It's deeper than that. I get it. That's all. Period. I get it. And what I, understand even more deeply is that the soul always wins. Love always wins. Your soul nature will always win. And that's what we're going for this year, is that our soul nature. And I know people ask me, well, what's the soul? Well, the soul is connected to everything everywhere. Just remember that. Your soul lives in you and it's connected to everything everywhere. It's that bridge. Yeah.
I get this image of, these us being light leaders where we're taking these possibilities and we're bringing them into our being in the way that you describe, really breathing them in and being with these emotions, with these things that are arising and making different choices with how we're seeing things outside of us.
Yes.
It brings those possibilities into reality.
Yeah.
I want to be there. I want to play there.
Exactly. I can't wait to see what I'm going to create and experience. And when you were speaking, I was thinking about the whole matter of ADD and ADHD and la, 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 la. So imagine that you are this grand creator and you see possibilities endlessly and your brain is wired to that kind of creativity. this world will call that ADD. And they will. They'll just go, oh my God, you're all over the place. It's like, yeah, because there's just so much possible. I haven't learned how to focus, which happens with high level souls that I work with a lot. I haven't learned to just, feel the power of this moment and this lane. I keep doing this. Oh, there's that and this and this. But you're bringing it all together. So rather than seeing it again as a curse, it's a gift. It's a gift to operate like that. And it's necessary for all that we're going to create to counterbalance what we have destroyed. We'll just say that.
Oh, thank you so much for bringing that up, because the ADD, the ADHD, and also Down syndrome.
And autistic. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All of those. Yeah.
I love to be around people that classify this. It's like, what world are you creating? What are you bringing in that we have not caught up with yet?
Exactly. We have not caught up with it. They are the leaders, and we're trying to normalize them into nothing. I had a brother who was developmentally disabled, which lightly, it wasn't a huge thing, but enough that he couldn't function so-called normally, His heart was so amazing, and his simple presence was so amazing. And sure, he got some things confused and he needed help with a lot of stuff. But I mean, the presence there. Wow. Yeah. I was like, I'd like to be like that, where my mind isn't so actively throwing me under the bus.
Yeah. And to see how society views them.
Yeah.
And also seeing the freedom they get because they've been labeled, right?
So true. So true. Yeah. And as long as they're understood, as long as there's a place for them, they thrive. If they aren't understood, they don't thrive, and they retaliate and say and do all sorts of harmful things. And then we go, oh, they're the harmful one. No, they're just not being understood. We haven't given them their unique place. And so they're going to react and say, this is not okay. Yeah.
I'm really feeling, as you're saying this, Susan, how that exists in all of us. How, for me, all of humanity exists within us, right? So why couldn't we have compassion or be able to see the creations of it all, at some level, depending on our development. But when you said that, I was like, whoa, the rebel in me, the part of me that's like, I have this grand idea, and how I'm sometimes can just shut it down, right? Like, oh, I'm not giving you any voice right now. And what I'm hearing, really feeling from our time together is this like, hey, we've got to let that open. We've to go there and let it guide us, lead us. And I'm also experiencing your catalytic energy as well. Like, I want to go and create. I want to understand. I want to play. So I just wanted to speak to that too, just how appreciative I am of the experience of you that I'm having right now. And I know everyone here is feeling as well. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for mentioning that. Well, it's my soul gift. So there's natural as breathing for me. And that's what I want for everyone, is to feel what their soul gifts are, so they can feel like that is all they have to bring forward. It doesn't have to be such a production. It's just, I need to come from this that is deep inside my specialty. And those are qualities of spirit, not necessarily job descriptions.
Wow. I love that. I love to feel it and hear it in that way. It's like, hey, this isn't a job description, because we're so used to having to like label it or put it in something, when it can be so simple yet profound.
Yes. And that goes back to the whole matter of soul purpose, the purposefulness. We feel that purpose when we are generating from that soulful place within us. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm really feeling that when we look at, I want to know what my soul gifts are. I want to be able to access my soul gifts, and
of course,
the bridge that you are, being able to coordinate that through like, hey, let's just go here. Let's feel into this infinite potential or possibilities that you've always had access to.
Right.
That's powerful, Susan.
Yeah. It's a great experience. Yeah.
As we're taking in all of this beautiful energy, a possibility, and I feel that you've done an incredible job of connecting us there. I know my whole is vibrating.
Wonderful.
I'm just wondering if there's any last things you would like to share, or any messages that are coming.
Let's see. I've loved this conversation so far, by the way. Thank you for what you evoked. And every time, yeah, okay. So everybody brings something different out of us. You could say, I have this soul purposefulness, I have these gifts, but everybody enhances particular parts of me. Somebody might bring forth more of the understanding nature. Someone else might bring forward your infinite nature. Someone else might bring forward your humor. Someone else might bring forward your innocence. Someone might bring forward your power. Whatever it is, that is family and that is community. Being open to the beautiful nature of how the world helps us bring out all of us. So instead of going, whoa, I'm too sensitive, etc., what about the feeling that this world is here to enhance, and the people in the world, they're all so bad and blah, blah, blah. What if they were the ones that were here to enhance your expression, this beautiful world? When you live from that place, that's what people do. And it makes it like, wow, this is so fun being part of humanity versus trying to get away from humanity. Yeah.
Whoa, that touched me so deeply. It actually started to bring up emotion in me, just that feeling of, oh, belonging like that.
Yes.
And how important it is that we have each other, that we are coming together and being these creator beings that we are, that when we come together, when we're able to really feel and open up into that. I know my nature has always been kind of communal, like kind of feeling how a lot of things aren't designed for that. So what, society hasn't always been as supportive with that, but we're changing that.
Yes.
Gave us a really big key to that, and it touched me in my lower heart, as you call it. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that message.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Yeah. Thank you for all you bring. My goodness, that was just really obvious that you have a beautiful connection to the universal dimensions, whatever you call them, whatever we want to call them. And you are living divinity in action.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for feeling and seeing me and being here with me in this journey today and sharing your light and your truth. And yeah, I feel so much that every person that's engaging with this now and going forward is going to continue to open up for, and, the opportunity to come back to this even and to feel it. There's so much richness here. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And just one more thing is, everyone that's going to be listening to this, it's like, it's already in the field. Everyone who's going to be listening to this is already in the field. So you're part of what we've created today. All of you that are listening to this now, you're part of this creation. So thank you for showing up and creating this community together. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's let them breathe that in as we close out the space here. It's taking with you all that you've received, all that is opening up. Just sending gratitude for each one of you and for Susann for being here with us and taking us on this journey. Infinite love, and bye for now. Oh, beautiful hearts, let's take a moment here to breathe into yet another powerful message from our Divinity in Action alchemical movement. I hope you found the teaching shared in this episode to be enlightening and empowering. Also, that you will take space for yourself to work with what was offered for your discovery and growth. Once again, I invite you to unlock your divinity through the wisdom of our speakers and to harness this beautiful energy to your benefit that will increase abundance, clarity, and freedom in every aspect of your life. By experiencing divinity in action, we will break free from past programming and conditioning and fully embody our true selves.